You know, he picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
But it's, again, it just tells the story of it's the evil and the ugliness of people's hearts these days is everywhere.
Hey guys, welcome to the Think Tank. It is Tuesday and 16 degrees in the Rockies, so I think we're going to have a nice day. Not too hot, not too cold. So, how many of you guys know about this case? Rachel Morin, who was found on a hiking trail not far from her home. Sounds like it was a place she was usually going for her workouts, so it's not like she was in unfamiliar territory. You haven't heard of this, Dandy? Yeah. Yesterday I got looking at some things and it's like, what? So I do have for us to watch the press conference, so I think what I'm going to do is we'll go through this. Here we go.
Evening. There's days I absolutely love being the sheriff of Harford County. This is not one of those days. We're here to follow up on what I think our entire community knows, sadly, what is a homicide along the Mampa Trail here just outside the town limits here in Bel Air that happened sometime early this morning or today. But at approximately 11:23 last evening, our deputies responded to a report of a missing person. It was reported by the individual's boyfriend that Rachel Morin, who's age 37, had headed out from her home on Old Emerton Road around 6 p.m. to go to the Mampa Trail. Once she had not returned as and when expected, the family was obviously concerned. Initial information from the boyfriend, again, the caller who reported her missing, indicated her car was at the lot at the trailhead here on William Street, behind like where Independent Brewery is, the people that are familiar with Bel Air. The car was there, but she was not. During the initial search, again, deputies did locate her vehicle at the William Street entrance. The vehicle, during the investigation, was towed to our CID building up in Forest Hill, where it will be processed for any and all evidence. At that time, last evening, an extensive search of the trail and surrounding area followed. A notice to the public was put out by this office, by our Office of Media Communications. That has had over 11,000 shares, and I'm going to touch on it a little here, but always thankful to our citizens here in Harford County who assist us in solving so many crimes by sharing information as good as. That's one of the good side of social media. The bad side is there's also been a lot of false or early information shared that we don't want to see. We don't see false news out there. We also don't want to see information getting out before family members are informed that it could jeopardize the case. So we always, along with thanking the public, ask the public to be careful in what they share in their comments to make sure it's factual and based on information that we have put out here from the Sheriff's Office. While it was all of our hope, certainly mine and everyone standing up here with me and the men and women of our office and all of our citizens, that Rachel will be found safe. At about 1:07 p.m., a citizen called 911 to report a female's body had been located off the trail. At that time, it was obvious that this person was deceased. The investigation went from a missing person investigation to a homicide investigation. While we firmly believe this is the body of Rachel Morin, that final determination, that final say belongs with the medical examiner, and that has not happened yet. And that's one of the things that's being shared out there on social media, that in fact it's factual, which I will admit here standing at the podium that that's the way this is going to go. But again, we have to let the process do what it's supposed to do. We understand this homicide causes a lot of concern for us, or our partners in the allied law enforcement agencies, and the safety of our citizens. The trail is one of our major Parks and Recs assets that runs through a lot of parts of the different through Harford County, and we understand that this is going to cause a lot of concern. The trail, the crime scene down there has been processed. The trail will be reopened. It was closed during crime scene processing, but trail's always been. We've had minor incidents, but it's always known to be a pretty safe place. But with that in mind, and with this incident in mind, the trail is going to reopen. We ask everyone to use good judgment on the trail, and not just on the trail, but in everyday life. But always be aware of your surroundings. I can tell you, my house backs to a portion of the Mom and Pa Trail, and I often, when I was out there more often, I would pass people with headsets or something, and they don't know you're there until you're upon them. The earbuds, the stuff like that, it's great, helps you exercise, but it can also keep you from being aware of your surroundings. Don't set yourself a predictable routine where you can be relied upon to be at a certain time, a certain spot routinely. Kind of mix it up a little bit. And if possible, walk or run with a friend or a family member, buddy up. Also consider wearing a whistle, carrying a whistle, or some other alert device. There's a whole bunch of them on the market. And be sure to let your family know where you are. And most of all, and we emphasize this, if you see something that doesn't make you feel comfortable, if you feel suspicious about it, take out your phone and call 911 and let us look at it. Let the men and women of law enforcement respond and see if there's something to be concerned about. In the immediate future, already starting, we will have increased police presence along the trail, all portions of the trail, while this case remains under investigation. And again, I got to thank our citizens. Many of them have written or called in with tips, social media tips. Each one of those tips is and has been or will be followed up on. We are going to be very careful with what we say in the early stages of this very active criminal investigation, so there's very little I can share of what investigators have seen and learned. But I will say, if you think you have just the smallest tidbit of information, you saw something in this young lady's travels on the trail, investigators would like to talk to you and have that information. Again, I continue to be proud of our Harford County citizens, the way this community comes together in terrible times, and this is one of those. Many people didn't know Rachel, but they stopped their day and they conducted their own help, and it was one of those citizens who actually found the deceased body. It was a volunteer who stepped up to come out because of the what they'd seen on social media. I have to say thank you to our partners, the Bel Air Police Department. Of course, that's where the trailhead here is, off of Williams Street. Allied agencies, Natural Resources Police were up here assisting with our search. State Highway Administration, Chesapeake Search and Rescue. And I know I'm going to miss some, but so many of our great community partners who assist us in this event, but are always there for us in the times of need. And I know Christy talked about it. We actually had two different areas where we were running active police operations today. The other one down closer to the Festival Shopping Center, actually across from Bel Air Parkway South. We had our command vehicle there for a big portion of today. People thought these two incidents were related. That is also a missing person that we will be sharing on our social media shortly after this press conference concludes. And that one, it is not related to the homicide on the trail. But we are still looking for a 58-year-old critically missing woman from Saturday afternoon. Information, again, will be posted on our page after this press conference. Her name is Karen Elliott, again, 58 years old. She was last seen at her residence on Saturday around 2 p.m. After 2 p.m. She was last seen wearing a green shirt and blue jeans and heading into the wooded area behind Cypress Drive, which is, again, off Tollgate in the area of Bel Air Parkway South. This afternoon, a robocall went out to that immediate area, and a 2-day search for her has been concluded. We believe that there is no danger to the community as a result of that case. Anyone with information about Miss Elliott is asked to contact the Southern Precinct at 410-612-1717. And again, it's important to note these two cases are completely unrelated, but because of the close timing on our pages, people are already asking questions of the police activity, whether the two incidents are related. They are not. We do not believe there's any danger to the community again, and we do believe the missing person does pose a threat to herself. So we would like to find Miss Elliott and hopefully find her safe and sound. With that, and again, with the caution that there's very, very little I'm going to be able to share, I will take what questions I can.
For any reason, targeted, you're giving reminders to the community to say they're in danger right now. I think the big question is.
Sure, we hate having homicides, and thankfully we don't have too much violent crime here in Harford County. That's the way all of us in the front of the room prefer it, and our citizens prefer it. But when we have one, I prefer it when I can stand here and tell you that the suspect has been arrested or that it's a targeted crime. I can't tell you that in this case. So right now, detectives continue to work the case as aggressively as they possibly can, and we will leave no stone unturned. And I hope that changes in the coming hours. But at this point in time, there is not a suspect, or can I put the comment out there that says we don't believe there's a threat to the community? I can't do it.
Sheriff, you mentioned a homicide. No, it's early in the investigation. What make that determination? Homicide.
There's indicators that our detectives have no doubt, and I'm not going to go into what physically they observed at the scene, but the investigators believe, and yeah, sadly, it's a homicide case. Sure. No, she wasn't pronounced until she was found. So when she went missing, I think about 6 p.m. is when she went on the trail. So I think this could have happened anytime from 6 p.m. when we assume, and this is speculating on my part, that when she arrived at the trail, if they expected her at the trail at 6, she could have got there at 7. So again, this is speculation on my part, but sometime from the time she got to the trail to when she was found, the homicide occurred. Well, I can tell you, investigators are working. I don't believe the trails are part of the Parks and Rec system here in Harford County. I'm not familiar with cameras that are set up that are not in response to something. We've had, as I said earlier, we've had minor thefts along at the parking areas, and I know at times cameras have been set up there trying to catch that. I am not familiar with any trails that run along outside of the parking areas, and I don't think there's any permanent cameras at the parking areas. But we will, again, there's houses. My house is one of them. It's on a different section of the trail. There's houses that border the trail, and many of those houses have cameras. So you might have camera footage you think's not related. If you have something that could possibly be related, detectives want to see it.
Sheriff, have you had a chance to talk to
I have not, but our investigators have. They were up at our criminal investigations division up in Forest Hill as we got ready to start this press conference. And obviously, it's being widely shared on social media. And I would just ask, to give that family some time to come to grips with what's happened. It's always a terrible loss, no matter what family it is. But this one with so much of a public eye on it. And again, I don't know that we've ever had a post reach 11,000 shares before, and that's amazing, and it's a compliment to once again to our Harford County citizens who step up and say we want to be part of helping, sharing the good news. So, but it's also that many people who are also heartbroken that when the news breaks that it has this sad ending. Sir. Right now, there's nobody that I would put and say that we have a possible. This person is a possible suspect. Zero. Okay. Thank you all again for waiting on us and for your time this evening. And hopefully, I'll have better news to share as the investigation progresses forward.
Thanks. Yep. Thanks.
So there. Now there's that. So I do have a few things set up for us to go through. They really aren't saying that they're thinking it's any family, friends, anything along those lines. Everything I've been reading so far has been saying that it's leaning towards a random act. So where are we here? See if I got it set right. I do. So how are you doing, James? Mom? Dandy? So yeah, there's another lady that's missing, and I think I might have something up on her as well. And if not, I'll see if I can find something for us through this. I know, it's... You know, and the sad thing is nowadays we've got so much, we don't trust what they say anymore because we've been lied to, or, I mean, if they leave stuff out, okay, but out and out lie to us, it creates distrust. Pretty damn bizarre. So, Rachel Morin's chilling Facebook post before the mother of 5 was found on a Maryland hiking trail. It's just beautiful. And this is from the Independent. They are in the description. Look at those big blue eyes. Rachel Morin shared a post on Facebook that hinted at her possible affinity for thrill and excitement months before she was found on that trail in Maryland. The mother of 5 was last seen around 6 p.m. this past Saturday when she allegedly went out for a run on the Ma and Pa Trail in Bel Air. The 37-year-old failed to return home that night, and her boyfriend reported her missing, according to the Hartford County Sheriff Jeffrey Galler. Morin's vehicle was found in the parking lot at the entrance to the walking route the following day on Sunday morning. And later in the day, about 1 p.m., a member of the public that was on part of the search crew sadly found her remains close to the trail. So the post that she shared in February said, "Risk can be dangerous, but routine can be deadly. Comfort has killed more dreams than daring ever did." Eh? Authorities on Sunday night said they have opened a homicide investigation as they waited for a formal identification, which has been made at this point. Rebecca Morin, the victim's devastated sister, claimed on a GoFundMe page that is in the description, and I've got more of that coming up. So she's saying that this was not accidental and she did not go willingly. So the boyfriend, Richard Tobin, did speak out on Sunday saying he would never do anything to her. He said, "Yes, I have a past, but I also have 15 months clean and I've changed as a person." Court records show Mr. Tobin has had 2 arrests for second-degree assault and separate arrests for violating restraining orders, malicious destruction of property, and DRUG possession dating back to 2014. Mr. Tobin has also faced charges of being a fugitive from justice, resisting arrest, and disorderly intoxication. Because I've never done that. According to Maryland Judiciary case search records, he is, however, not been named a suspect or accused of any wrongdoing in connection with this case whatsoever. Right now, detectives continue to work the case as aggressively as they possibly can, and we will leave no stone unturned, Sheriff Galler told reporters. I hope that changes in the coming hours, but at this point in time, there is not a suspect. Oi, oi, oi. It's scary when they're saying that they think it's random, because that just puts everybody feeling like there is somebody out there to get them. And in a case like this, it very possibly can be. These places are massive, and people can go missing pretty fast. I'm not sure. I can see if I can look into that. I haven't even found out yet how big that area is. I basically got on this first thing this morning and started learning as much as I could, because I haven't been seeing this case, which is why I thought it might be a good one for us to take a look at. So, popular Maryland hiking path. And boom, I'll just move that over here. So, on a popular hiking trail, and the sister is saying she did not go willingly. Just beautiful. Look at her, guys. Rachel Morin left her home in Bel Air, Maryland at around 6 p.m. on Saturday, August 5th, and headed to a popular hiking trail. And I think they're saying that's called the Ma and Pa Trail, just outside of town. The mother of 5 failed to return that night, and her new boyfriend, Richard Tobin, that last name, called police at about 11 p.m. to report her missing, according to the Hartford County Sheriff's. Yeah, we know of another fellow, very bad act, Peter Tobin, but I'm not saying there's any red flags as far as Richard goes, just to say that out loud. Next morning, the 37-year-old's car was located at the William St. entrance to the Ma and Pa Trail. At 1 p.m. on Sunday, a member of the public called 911 to report finding a woman's remains near a trail. And Sheriff Galler said in the press conference on Sunday, the one we just watched, that a homicide investigation was underway. And they, at that point, were waiting for formal identification, which is Tuesday, August the 8th, has all been dealt with and positively identified. Evidence retrieved from the crime scene strongly pointed towards foul play, he said. While police are yet to confirm, okay, we'll leave that stuff out. So her sister again has said that this is not an accidental death, that she did not go willingly, and has put out that GoFundMe because she deserves a funeral worthy of her beauty, Rebecca Morin wrote on the page, to raise money for her burial and to provide for her 5 young kids. 5 she left behind. So what we know, on Sunday morning, law enforcement officials, hold on here. Whoop. Okay, law enforcement officials in Maryland issued an urgent plea for information about Miss Morin's whereabouts. And again, the Hartford County Sheriff's Office said Miss Morin was last seen about 6 p.m. on Saturday, heading to walk on the Ma and Pa Trail. She was described as 5'2", 107 pounds, tiny little girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. She was wearing at the time a blue or black tank top, black sports bra, black spandex shorts, and gray sneakers. Mr. Tobin informed authorities that his girlfriend's car was at the parking lot at the Williams Street. I said Saint last time. Williams Street trailhead. And that they have recovered her vehicle and it's being processed for evidence. So he did say, I'm not going to go on what physically they observed at the scene, but investigators believe sadly that this is a homicide case, adding that investigators strongly believed that this was sadly Rachel Morin. And of course, right? Says crime scene tape and police cruisers were seen for about a half a mile into the Ma and Pa Trail on Sunday. Bel Air, the county seat of Hartford County, is a town with about 10,000 residents. Another small town located 30 miles or 48 kilometers north of Baltimore near the state border with Pennsylvania. There, the area has many popular hiking trails, and authorities warned hikers to be on alert as they continued to investigate Miss Morin's death. You know, people, it terrifies me. They put in those damn earbuds, and seriously, that terrifies me. I could never do that. I cannot deal with someone behind me. And to not hear someone behind me, that's terrifying. Are you kidding me? I really wish, I mean, you're going into the bush like this, and you want to hear what's around you. Not only could there be some creepazoid, but there's animals. Ay, ay, ay. It scares me. I hope people kind of get off of that trend. So he said, thankfully, we don't have much violent crime in Hartford County, but we have one. I prefer when I can stand here and tell you that the suspect has been arrested or that it's a targeted crime. I cannot tell you that in the case, he said. So he is urging people, here we go, boom, to not wear headphones while out on the trail so they can be aware of their surroundings. Carry a whistle or alert device. Personally, if I'm in the bush, I got bear spray and I have pointy things. I don't know if you can in a spot like this, but I want to get it. And if someone's coming at me, I want to be able to defend myself. So his suggestions: carry a whistle or an alert device to go for walks and runs with friends or family members and let family members know where they are. Absolutely. And if you can't get a hold of anyone, leave a note on your table. You can always throw that away when you get home safely. So they're saying if you see something that feels suspicious, those spidey senses, take your phone out and call 911, he's saying. And he is also pleading for the public to report any piece of information, regardless how small it might seem to them. Miss Morin was originally from Dover, New Hampshire, and was a long-term resident of Bel Air. She is also one of 5 siblings. Her sister Rebecca, herself a mother of 7, revealed on a GoFundMe page that the family has been grieving as their niece, Lily Beth, passed away to sudden infant syndrome just a couple weeks earlier. It was like, how much can a family take? My sister, Rachel Morin, went missing on Saturday, August 5th, 2023, around 6 p.m. In less than 24 hours, her body was found by a local, well, it says law enforcement, but this happened to be, from what I'm learning, it sounds like it was a private citizen. And it had only been a week since Lily Beth passed away from SIDS. She said, I find that I have to make yet another GoFundMe to help my mother, Patty Morin, with funeral costs. Rebecca confirmed that her sister did not have life insurance and appealed for financial assistance to provide for her 5 surviving children. So in an update, Rebecca asked anyone for information to notify law enforcement to get justice for my sister, her children, her mother, and all of her siblings. On social media, Rachel Morin posted touching photos with her children, selfies at the gym, and spending times with friends. Rachel was so unabashedly herself, witty and genuine, brilliant, daring, and headstrong. Her spirit would light up a room, and her smile was contagious. Her best friend, Claudia Brown, wrote on a Facebook post after her passing. And she said her faith was so strong. Miss Brown wrote that Miss Morin had been divorced and was a fierce protector of her children and loved them with all of her heart. I've yet to find anything on the ex-husband, not a name, nothing yet. Miss Morin had worked as a model and appeared on the cover of Elle magazine. Hartford Community student publication, where her brother John Morin worked as a technical advisor. In 2008, she showed photographs from a trip to New Zealand to visit John, who was working as a photographer in the town of, I'm going to probably say this wrong, Wakatane. Beautiful. And this is Richard Tobin on the opposite side. In a post in February, Miss Morin shared a foreboding quote. Yes. Comfort has killed more dreams than daring ever did. So it says she also started her own cleaning business in 2019, East Coast Cleaners. On August 1st, Miss Morin and Mr. Tobin shared news that their relationship on Facebook, and only started taking pics a few weeks ago. And at this point, he is basically trying to get everyone to understand that he has not done this. I don't think he's a suspect at this point. What is the Bonpaw Trail? The 6.25 mile or 10 kilometer trail gets its name from the former Maryland and Pennsylvania Railroad corridor that ran through the town of Bel Air in Hartford County. The track was dismantled in the 1950s and later turned into a heritage trail along the railroad's former route. Wonder if they've got trestles. Those routes can be beautiful. So it consists of a 3.3 mile section through Bel Air and a 1.7 mile segment in neighboring Forest Hill. According to alltrails.com, the trail is moderately challenging and takes about 2 hours and 25 minutes to complete. In the wake of Miss Morin's death, authorities have warned hikers to take particular care and be aware of their surroundings. And yeah, I just think that's something we should always be doing, right? I don't think there's a time when we shouldn't be taking notice of that. That's for damn sure. Okay, let's see here. I'm just going to get out of this. Okay. What do you guys think? Quite the case, hey? Hey, Bruja, good to see you, friend. Maxie, good to see ya. Good to see everyone.
The search for a missing woman in Harford County came to a tragic end earlier today when neighbors found her body at a local trail in Bel Air. WMAR 2 News' Janae Wright has the details of how she was found.
The Bel Air community is now mourning the death of 37-year-old Rachel Morin after her body was found on Ma and Pa Trail Sunday afternoon.
That something like this should not happen in Harford County.
Officers say Rachel Morin left her home around 6 p.m. Saturday and went over to the Ma and Pa Trail. Around
Okay, so it does sound like she is very, very used to this area. No, and she doesn't seem like she would go without a fight, does she? No. Agreed. Agreed.
Around 11 p.m., officers say her boyfriend reported her missing, which is when a search began for Rachel. Just after 1 p.m. Sunday afternoon, police got a call saying a woman's body was found on the same trail.
We firmly believe this is the body of Rachel Morin. That final determination, that final say belongs with the medical examiner, and that has not happened yet.
The call came in from Michael Gabrzeski, who says he joined the search after hearing about Rachel's disappearance. He says his daughter was friends with Rachel. He and his daughter and a friend found Rachel's body in a drain.
And I kept telling them to search the tunnels because I had a feeling about those tunnels. And I walked forward to search the one tunnel, and they searched the one, and that's where they found her.
Michael says the state they found her body in led him to believe she was murdered. Neighbors concerned about what may have happened to her after finding out her body was found.
I was just really sorry for the woman, and then I also heard that she...
See, I didn't know she was found in any kind of tunnel. That's news to me. And I'd never seen who had found her.
She had a family, she had children. So that's really tragic.
Michael says although he's devastated to find Rachel the way he did, he's hoping the family can find closure.
To bring her home so she can find a final resting place in her family, that door can be finally closed, and they can get the investigation on and hopefully catch the person that did this trifling act.
Many people are saddened by Rachel's death and are hoping police soon find whoever killed her.
I hope they prosecute to the fullest extent of the law.
Anyone with information that may help investigators solve this case is encouraged to reach out to the Harford County Sheriff's Office or the Bel Air Police Department. In Harford County, Janae Wright, WMAR 2 News.
Unreal, hey? Mom. 5 kids brouhaha. 5 kids. At the very beginning of the live, we've got the press conference from Sunday, and it'll explain everything, kind of as far as as far as up to where we're at. Does a park or a trail have a homeless camp or delinquents minors? I haven't heard anything like that, friend. I've heard that it's a pretty nice little area. But with that said, I don't know. I don't know. Dandy. Jasmine. Okay, sit. And that's enough. She's going to sit here and do this. Yeah, this whole, I feel, off-putting thing. They're saying right at this point that they're thinking it's random. So, I mean, someone like that to me I would think would be fairly random. Not pointing fingers, just thinking out loud. Okay, so let's take a look. Nostradamus Michael. Okay. Jazzy's just like, yeah, you. Got a little bit more we can go through. We've seen enough of that. Do tell. Okay. This is from the Sun, and they are in the description. As are the other.
If you are type 2 and take metformin, well, check your feet and legs for these two things.
No.
37-year-old Rachel Morin went for a walk on the Ma and Pa Trail in Bel Air around 6 Saturday night. Around 11:30 that night, investigators say Morin's boyfriend reported her missing. Sheriff Jeff Gaylor says a volunteer searching for Morin discovered remains along the trail.
Well, we firmly believe this is the body of Rachel Morin. That final determination, that final say belongs with the medical examiner, and that has not happened yet.
Yeah.
If you are type 2
and as we know, as of probably even Monday, she has been identified. So let's see. I just want to go through this really fast and see if we've got any. There we go, guys. Oh. Okay. No, it seems like it. I don't know. I'm going to have to maybe check out Google Earth and find out exactly where this park is and how it runs, what's in there. So Sheriff Galler believes Rachel's death is more than likely a homicide, but not giving any kind of details. Rebecca also revealed that her brother and sister-in-law recently lost their infant daughter just a week ago due to SIDS. Back-to-back losses. So at the time of this writing, the GoFundMe has reached $16,200 of its $25,000 goal. Again, she was single, new boyfriend, but 5 children. Her sister had 7. Yeah. Couple more than me, like 6. A panda kilt. So this is the GoFundMe for Rachel. Oh, look at that. Oh, the goal has gone up. That's good, though, because, I mean, there's those kids they have to take care of. So I'm happy to see that. That must have been an old number. Up to 895 donations at $37,527 raised of the $65,000 goal. Ooh, somebody anonymously sent 800. It is with devastating sadness and broken heart that our family has been hit with yet another heartbreak. My sister Rachel Morin went missing on Saturday, August 5th, 2023, around 6 p.m. In less than 24 hours, her body was found by local law enforcement. I have a GoFundMe to help my mother, Patty Morin, with funeral costs. There was no life insurance in place. This was not an accidental death, and she did not go willingly, and she deserves a funeral worthy of her beauty. If there are any remaining funds, they will go towards her 5 children that will absolutely need help. So please share, donate, comment, and keep this going. Once we've made the arrangements, I will update with service dates and times. If you wish to donate directly, please message me on... Okay, that's enough. Oh, Lordy, guys. So yesterday, I raised the goal as we would like to do a large celebration of life for Rachel. We had no idea the amount of people she touched, even in just her everyday life. Okay, she's going to come in screaming like a bat out of hell again. Okay, I think we're safe. So we want all those who loved her to grieve and celebrate with us. We would also like to raise enough to get a headstone that is fitting for her. Oh, yes. And I mean, of course, we did not take into account the fees. We appreciate all of those who have shared, donated, and thoughtful words. Thank you. So I truly hope that they find out what happened to this young lady. 5 kids. No father that I can find in the picture. And no insurance. No savings, I don't think. Nothing of the sort. 5. Oh my God, yeah. The poor family. It's true. It's true. I absolutely hate that when it rains, it pours for some people. So freaking sad. So I am going to keep on top of this, you guys. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to keep watching this and see if maybe there's some kind of cameras, something that will help find, you know, her attacker. It scares me that they're thinking this is random, because that means he can get anyone. You know, anyone who's using those trails does not have any kind of protection. Like I say, I take bear spray and I take my buck. I take both of them. There's bear out there and cougar and creeps. So keep yourself safe. If you're outdoorsy and you enjoy that kind of stuff like I do, keep yourself safe. And let's hope we get some answers. Maybe later, Mexi. I think I'm going to finish up with this one and see if I can catch anything else as far as this case goes. That might be something. Yeah. I can't. We're not allowed to have guns walking around here. You're allowed to go hunting, but you can't have them on, like, national parks and what have you. You can't hunt. You can't have guns. So, yeah. But I'm thinking maybe map time later in the day, friend. I'll see if I can learn a little bit about this area and see how you feel. I don't know if you want to check it out as well. We can talk about it afterwards and make a plan. So guys, thanks again. Share. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.